I'm just coming on here to talk. Um, I recently became aware that I may be bipolar, and I'm still not sure exactly what's wrong with me and where's the imbalance and the illness within me. Previously, I was diagnosed with major depression disorder and psychomotor retardation. And I was given a medication for that. And when I took it, I ended up having a manic psychosis episode. So now I'm just dealing with the aftermath of that, and it sucks. It really sucks. Like, I can't work. Like, I literally cannot work. I tried over and over again. And as I'm seeing some people on YouTube, trying to build a channel and everything, I recognize that that's part of the reason why there's so many people trying to, create a YouTube channel and do this and that, because trying to work and struggling with the mental illness is very, very hard, especially when you're not aware. And even if you are aware, it's still hard then too. As I reflect back on like the past year or so, I would be up. I would have these ups, and then I would get like really, motivated and excited. Like, okay, I'm gonna work this job, and I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna try to build my brand on the side and everything like that. Because what I want to do is ministry, and so that's what I'm doing, is ministry. I had a plan for another video today, but this one is just coming out because, like, due to okay, it cut off. But due to my struggles, I was unable to push that video out today. I just couldn't. I don't know. I wasn't ready to put it out today. But as I was just sitting here, I was sitting outside here for a minute, just sitting here, stuck in my head. That's another thing that happens to me quite a lot. Like, I have these blocks of time where I would just sit there, literally, and like just be stuck in my head, like I'm in my own world or something. This spot that I'm sleeping in, actually, I slept out here. I slept out here before. Uh, Let me show you if I can. I don't think I can. How do I show you? I don't know. Maybe I'll just, I don't know. I slept on this bench. This very bench. But before me, it's kind of like a monument or something. I just want to go through it and read it. So, I don't know. Let me do that. So this is a little bit off topic, but it's on topic. But it's basically about workers and their families. But it's kind of going along with, how, like I'm saying, like I can't work. And I can't work like in a traditional sense. But so this is what it says. It says risk. On May 1st, 1886, 10,000 workers demanding an 8-hour workday held strikes throughout the city of Milwaukee. On May 5th, 2,000 workers and their families formed a parade and marched from the St. Stanislaus Church to the Bayview rolling mills to protest long hours. Governor Russ called out the National Guard. As the crowd approached the rolling mills, the soldiers opened fire. 7 people were killed, including a child. Wow. That wasn't even that long ago. That was in 2000. Benefits. We mean to make things over. We're tired of toil for naught, but bare enough to live on. Never an hour for thought. We want to feel the sunshine. We want to smell the flowers. We're sure that God has willed it, and we mean to have 8 hours. We're summoning our force from shipyard, shop, and mill. 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, 8 hours for what we will. This is alarm. Homicide in the workplace was declared a serious health problem by the Center for Disease Control in 1992. Women are at special risk. A woman who dies on the job is more likely to die from homicide than any other cause. Stress. They make you work 10 to 12 hours every day, 6 days a week. Lots of people, even the younger ones, are developing high blood pressure, having accidents on the job or car accidents on the way to and from work, or other serious health problems. Since the 1980s, overtime has become a way of life. Salary workers often work longer hours than workers paid by the hour. Protection. The U.S. Congress passed the Occupational Health and Safety Act, OSHA, in 1970, with provisions for setting and enforcing workplace safety standards. Noise, dust, untested chemicals, radiation, heat stress, vibration, lighting, repetitive motion, and unsafe equipment are workplace hazards that are monitored by OSHA. Out. The 19th century belief that unemployment was a matter of individual bad luck or bad character was deeply ingrained in Wisconsin and American culture. and the realization that in fact it was an unavoidable feature of the modern industrial economy came only slowly. In 1920, University of Wisconsin professor John R. Commons began to draft the nation's first unemployment compensation law. Signed into law in 1932, it provided an economic safety net for all workers. Dignity. The Wagner Act of 1935 gave workers the right to protest and seek redress of unfair labor practices, to organize a union, and to bargain collectively. Thousands of Wisconsin working men and women seeking job security, a living wage, and fair treatment organized unions during the 1930s. There's more, but I'm gonna stop it right there. And just get back to there's more, but I'm gonna stop it right there. Like that last one of the main reasons why I don't want to work anymore is like I don't want to look for a job is because of the livable wage. When I was put on a antidepressant and I had a manic psychosis episode, I was charged with a felony. And because of that felony, it not only I can't work in the field that I was previously working in, it's very, very difficult to find a job. And the jobs that will hire me, it's like fast food, and not even all of them will hire me. Even fast foods won't hire me. And so it's to the point of sometimes it feels like you don't even have a choice. Like you don't have choices, you don't have opportunities. You kind of just gotta take what you can get, and I refuse to do that. And not only that, I have to share my story and my testimony and proclaim the glory of God. Because even with my mental illness, even with the struggles that I have right now, I know that God is real. And like you just talking about him brings a smile to my face. And you know, I'm very like, I'm not awkward, but I am. So like, what are you talking about? You're not awkward, but you are. I'm not awkward, but I am. So I be to myself. I just like to be to myself. But so like I push people away a lot. But the reason why I push people away is because every time when I let people close to me, it just seems like it's always everybody who I allow close to me, they either take advantage of me or they ridicule me and talk about me for letting other people take advantage of me. And so it's just like, it's never good. I don't like it. And it, I won't say like it makes me like lonely, because like really I don't be feeling lonely, because I'm really content with my own company. But at the same time, like I have a lot, like a lot to say. And so, when God was revealed to me that like he was real and not like just this fictitious thing that people made up to make themselves feel better, like he's actually real, he's a spirit and he's alive, and I can talk to him and he talks back, like, whoa. And it's crazy because when I first started like having this relationship with God and I'm talking to him and he's talking to me and we're having, having these things, I was so excited, and I went to the church to tell the church, and it was like, they like, no, God's not talking to you. Isn't, okay, this is the preacher telling me that God is not talking to me. But it was saying like, he's like, I don't want to say that he's not talking to you, but I don't think he's talking to you. Like, well, he may not be talking to you, but he's talking to me. Sorry, but I think sometimes that's the I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy because how can you be a pastor and a preacher and you tell someone that God isn't talking to them? Like, if anybody should believe me, it should be you. Or if anybody know that this is true, it should be you. You would think. But all preachers don't have a real relationship with God. But and it's not that I like he speaks to me audibly. There's been times where I heard an audible voice, but it's very, very rare. It's usually through like numbers and signs and things like that. But there's a downside to that. Everything I see is not always coming from God. And so it kind of reminds me of like with Paul, where it said Paul was sent a messenger of Satan, and they describe it as a thorn, and he asked God to take this thorn away, and he asked him 3 times and God never took it away. And when he got the answer from God as to why, the Lord explained to him that if he was to take it away, then he would think that he was, more just bigger than what he was, and he would, think that he was better, and he would stop relying on God because he would feel like he was all knowing and all powerful. And that's why he gives the thorn, and I believe I have that thorn as well. I know I have that thorn as well. So it's a difficult thing, but it's learn to be content in it, because it keeps you humble. It keeps me humble to know that, like, hey, I'm not all knowing. I don't know everything. Everything that I see is everything that I see, all the signs. It's not always God, and so I have to make sure that I'm talking to God and confirming and confirming and confirming and confirming and confirming, and I think that's why the word that I was going to put out today didn't get to come out, because it's not ready. It hasn't been confirmed yet. But I'm going to spend the time to put this together, And I'm like practicing on, what do you call it, uh, editing and things like that. So there's a lot that is going into this ministry, and I'm dedicated to it. So I am. Oh, there's 3 birds. Yeah, there's 3 birds above in the tree above me. I don't know if I can get them, or if you can see them. I can barely see them, but they're up there. They're there. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I'm like sitting in a spot that I slept out here before. I remember when I was sleeping here, and there was a gentleman, he got off work. He came over and he said, they had like a lot of food and things like that, and he gave me his food. And that really touched me because I was hungry. Yeah, and I could tell like he was eating off of the plate. So, and I remember those days when I worked late, got off work late, and there was some food or something to take home. Like if I made a plate to leave, when I got off work, I wanted that food. Okay, so I'm like, I know he wanted that food, and he seen me out here and he gave it to me. It's the little things. But my hands are getting cold, so I'm gonna wrap this up, edit this out. Thanks for watching, and with that, God bless. This is the Shining Light Ministry. If you wish to support this ministry, go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel, share the video, and if you wish to give, I will add my Cash App and Venmo in the credits.